Imagine a nation once unified under a strongman's vision, only to crumble into decades of chaos. This is the story of Somalia and how its central government vanished almost overnight in 1991, leaving behind a power vacuum that haunts the region to this day. Our story begins in 1969 when Major General Mohammed Syed Barre seized power in a bloodless coup, promising a new era of scientific socialism and national unity. Barre's early rule saw reforms in language and women's rights and an alliance with the Soviet Union. But this changed dramatically in 1977 when Somalia invaded Ethiopia, aiming to reclaim the Ogaden region. The war was a disaster. Ethiopia, backed by the Soviets and Cuba, crushed the Somali forces. This defeat forced Barre to abandon his Soviet ties, turning instead to the United States for aid, becoming a key Cold War ally. Despite new Western support, Barre's regime grew increasingly brutal. He favored his own clan, the Merhin, while systematically repressing others. Corruption, economic mismanagement, and widespread human rights abuses became rampant, including political imprisonment and torture. As discontent festered, powerful clan-based opposition groups like the Somali National Movement, the SSDF, and the United Somali Congress emerged, launching armed rebellions against the state. The regime responded with horrific massacres, particularly against the Isaaq clan in the northwest. Barre's policies crippled the economy, making Somalia dependent on foreign food imports. He manipulated international aid, funneling resources to his allies and further deepening clan divisions. This created a highly fragile state, ripe for collapse and humanitarian catastrophe, as the government's legitimacy eroded from within. The end of the Cold War delivered the final blow. Somalia's strategic value to the United States vanished. Citing the regime's appalling human rights record, the U.S. began withdrawing its crucial aid in 1990. Stripped of foreign backing, Barre's government became critically vulnerable. Rebel groups, especially the United Somali Congress, intensified their offensive. On January 27, 1991, Syed Barre was driven from Mogadishu, marking the end of his 22-year rule and the complete collapse of the central government. Barre's fall left a devastating power vacuum. No new central authority emerged. Instead, rival clan factions immediately plunged the country into a brutal civil war. The ensuing chaos led to a catastrophic humanitarian crisis, with hundreds of thousands dying from famine and disease, prompting desperate international interventions. To this day, Somalia struggles with state building, a direct legacy of the government's collapse in 1991 and the failure to establish a peaceful transition.